Thank you very much. And I want to also welcome you and tell you how glad I am to have you all with us today and how what a wonderful day you're in for. I also want very much to thank Rabbi Evan and the Hillel community for making this our home for the 7th year in a row. We love being here this year especially. We have an amazing day ahead of you. I'm going to momentarily introduce our first speaker, but first I just want to let you know a bit of what's in store for you. Can you all hear me all right?
Yes.
Very good. We have Alon Ben David, who is the senior defense correspondent for Israel Channel 10 News, who has come a very long way on a red-eye flight to join us. And we're thrilled to have him. After Alon's keynote speech, you're going to have about 15 minutes of coffee break, during which you're going to have to make a tough decision between 3 breakout sessions. I wouldn't want to be you. I wouldn't want to be me. One of them is going to be led by David Lewis, documentarian, investigative reporter, on-camera journalist for CNN. He will give a talk on Hezbollah and its existential crisis. Door number 2 is our afternoon keynote speaker, Dr. Joseph Omer, who is going to give a talk this morning, which we've titled Arab World 101. It's going to look at the aspects of the Arab world that aren't talked about in the news predominantly, but often make the news. Cultural issues, tribal issues, Sunni Shia issues. It's going to be a very, very interesting talk. And third, we have Udi Hadar, who is a Shaliach based in Las Vegas, who is here today to do a talk which he's calling A Coat of Many Colors. It's basically a look at the news of the day through the headlines of a wide spectrum of news and other media in Israel. It won't be a political or current events class. It will be really a chance to learn about the culture through looking at the readership of those various papers. It's a very creative way of getting an insight into Israel. So that's the morning. Then there's a lunch break where you will be served a lunch prepared by the Israel Committee's fabulous foodies. It's our treat for all of you, and it's always wonderful. In the afternoon, well, I'll talk more about that in the afternoon. But following Dr. Omer's keynote, which will deal with the peace settlement talks, we have a very special breakout panel discussion led by David Suissa, president of the Jewish Journal, David Lewis, and former CNN Israel correspondent Linda Schertzer. And this is going to be a discussion of Israel boundaries to the conversation, a questioning of how we talk about the tough stuff, and are there some people who are not appropriate to participate in that conversation? It's almost guaranteed to give everybody in this room something to think about, because these three do not agree with each other, fortunately. And also, if that's not your cup of tea, we have a wonderful breakout session by Professor Michael Leitner from Chico State, who's going to be looking at coexistence projects, in particular soccer. And this is a very, very interesting subject as well. At the end of the day, after all of that, a wine and cheese reception, a chance to schmooze with the speakers and each other. So that's the day. And I'm thrilled you're all here for it. Enough of that. I want to take a minute now to acknowledge the people who made this happen. The Israel Committee of Santa Barbara is the most incredible, unruly bunch of true believers who have labored for really the last 12 months to bring you this day. Tremendous labor of love. And so for the moment, I'm going to ask my fellow members of the Israel Committee if you would stand for a second. If you're in this room, a lot of them are out there working. Israel Committee members in the room? We have a few. The fact is the teaching is really our excuse for getting together on a regular basis and having amazing disagreements. And we disagree really, really well. The breadth of viewpoints on the Israel Committee is reflected in the breadth of the programming. It's reflected in the breadth of the reading list. And speaking of reading lists, there are 2 books that came out this year that are extraordinary, and if you care about Israel at all, you should know about. One is Yossi Klein Halevi's Like Dreamers, which traces the lives of 7 soldiers who were present at the iconic capturing of the Old City in '67, through their lives today, and so seeing an Israel through their experiences, which are very varied. The other book is by Ari Shavit, and it's called My Promised Land. It's a work that's unflinchingly honest, it's personal, It's also a great read. That's a must-read, in fact. Conveniently, both books are available for sale today. We're not making a penny on this. We didn't bring it here to make money. We brought it to make it available to you because we think they're really important reads. So they're available. At lunch break, we'll be selling them at various times of the day. If you're interested, have a look at them. They're important books. Enough from me. I want to introduce you to our first speaker. As many of you may know, the Israeli consulate and the foreign ministry has been on strike for quite a few weeks. As of last Monday, I was really doubtful we were going to have anybody from the consulate. The strike ended this past Wednesday, and my understanding is that right now the consulate is busy canceling engagements until mid-May because they're playing catch-up. So by rights, we don't have anybody from the consulate. This may be a tribute to our community or what this teaching's about, or it may be that I was just a really big pain in the ass to the wonderful Carol of the consulate. But she and the consul, who I'm going to introduce you to in a moment, conspired to make this possible. So we are very lucky today to have with us Consul Dana Ehrlich, someplace in there, who is the Consul for Culture, Media, and Public Diplomacy. She's vibrant, as you'll hear in a second. She's the new face of the foreign ministry. She brings a fresh sensibility to the future of Israel's public diplomacy, and we're very fortunate to have her today. A little background on her. She assumed the position of Consul for Public Diplomacy in August of 2012 after serving as Deputy Chief of the mission at the Israeli Embassy in Costa Rica. Before that, she was with the IDF's intelligence force. She's a native Israeli with parents who are Argentinian immigrants. It's a very interesting and typical Israeli story. She has a BFA in art from Bezalel Art Academy in Jerusalem. She's an accomplished artist. And her role as Consul for Public Diplomacy, she's responsible for fittingly culture as well as public affairs. Please join me in welcoming Consul Dana Ehrlich.